Hey guys, today's video is all about grips. How to use grips, what kind of grips to buy, what should we do with all of these? Let's talk about it. I'm a huge proponent of wearing grips. I want to be able to train at my fullest every day that I'm supposed to train. And when I was first starting out, I would tear my hands up like crazy. They'd be super sore. If a workout had a bunch of pull-ups, the next day there was just no way that I could do toes to bar or muscle ups. Or if there was a workout that had bar muscle ups, I would tear my hands if there were more than 10 total. That messes me up for a week. Grips will save me from that. I also want to use grips to help me stay on a bar and not let the weakness of a particular movement be my ability to hang on for that movement. On toes to bar, if I've got a really good grip on the bar with grips, I can rep out 25 to 40 toes to bar unbroken. But with just my hands, my grip would fail before my physical body fails that toes to bar. Same thing with bar muscle ups. I can do 15 or 20 bar muscle ups unbroken only because my grip is being saved by these grips. And what I mean by my grip, the actual physical ability to hang onto the bar is relieved because I'm using the grip to create some leverage in my wrist to hang onto that bar a bit better. And finally, if there's just one piece of workout gear that will just save you in the long run because they're so inexpensive, it's grips. They're like $15 to $40. They'll last a long time and they'll allow you to continue working hard even on those days when you've got massive amounts of work to do with your grip. Now I wear grips for pull-ups, toes to bar, muscle ups on the bar, ring muscle ups, and deadlifts. That's what I use grips for. Mostly so that I can hang on to whatever I'm doing a lot longer. At the same time, I'm protecting my hands so they're not tremendously and overwhelmingly in pain the next day. Whether they're torn or not torn, I get to avoid that pain by wearing grips. So what kind of grips should you get? Well, first of all, I think you should get leather grips. There's lots of grip textures out there, lots of grip fabrics. I've tried some, I just don't like them. I really like a good leather grip. Leather's gonna be durable, it's gonna stick to a rough bar better, and it's gonna last longer. And I can hang on with a leather grip all day long. I don't need grips to have holes because I'm never actually putting my fingers through the holes. So that's why I like these. Raylene is a brand of grips that have no holes, very soft leather. I have worn these in significantly to the point where now like the Velcro barely works. I've worn these so much. I also like Bear Complex. Really any of the Bear Complex grips have been really good for me. I've worn the Bear Complex grips out so much from use that I've really actually torn these. These were my primary grips until I tore them, which is natural. There's nothing wrong with this grip. A tremendous amount of the torque in this grip happens towards the bottom part of this grip, towards my wrist, not way up here. And nothing has ever worn out these fingers. My fingers have never gone through these grips. I was doing toes to bar when this tore up here near where my wrist is, and I'll show you why. I actually have an extra pull-up bar handy that's not attached. First of all, you wanna make sure that the buckle of the grip is towards your little bone there that's on your forearm, that there's no buckle by your thumb. The buckle is out on the other side. So that's how to properly wear these. It's gonna look like that if you're wearing the Bear Complex grips. When I jump up on the bar to do like toes to bar muscle up, chest to bar pull-ups, regular pull-ups, I'm jumping up and I'm trying to get this to flap up over the bar so there's a significant amount of that grip on the bar. This is what it's gonna look like. Just like that. A ton of the grip on the bar. There's almost a false grip happening. When I'm doing these types of movements on the bar, toes to bar, chest to bar, pull-ups, bar muscle ups, I am going with a suicide grip. That is with my thumb up over the bar. False grip, thumb up over the bar. There's a tremendous amount of pressure pulling on my wrist. The grip is pulling like this up and over. I can almost let go of my fingers if my palm is touching because the grip is just getting sandwiched between the bar and my hand right there, and my wrist is able to accept all of that pressure. Bear Complex has a nice leather edge to this, so it's just pulling. You can pull on this as hard as you can and it's not hurting my wrist. Also, with all that pressure, it's allowing my grip to not have to be quite as tight, so I'm not wearing out my gripping muscles for whatever movement I'm doing. As a side note, it's called suicide grip because I have less of a grip on the bar with my thumb over as opposed to having my thumb around the bar. Having your thumb around the bar is a safer grip. Even with your grips up like that, having your thumb around is safer. But for me, I don't have as much of a solid grip with this leather band as I do when I have my thumb up over the bar. I want a significant false grip on that bar. Regular grip is like this, false grip, hands are way above the bar on that. And again, that just creates this wonderful bond between the bar and this grip, thus putting all of the pressure through this movement on my wrist, on that pulling of my wrist, which can handle all kinds of torque versus my actual hand, which is just skin and it just hurts. So let's see if we can get a better view of this. And on ring muscle ups, I try to jump up and get that grip up over as much as I can. I am definitely wrapping my thumbs around on ring muscle ups, but that's where I want that grip there as well, allowing the grip to bear most of the weight and most of the pressure as I swing through the bottom on a muscle up. And again, that grip is transferring that load to my wrist as opposed to the palm of my hand. Saves my grip and allows me to do a ton of ring muscle ups without tearing my hands and without grip becoming the limiting factor on ring muscle ups. And then finally, for a deadlift, with a barbell, I'm going for that same principle. I want the grip and the pressure on my wrist to bear most of the force as opposed to the palm of my hand. And don't get me wrong, my grip strength is tested and strengthened with Olympic lifting, anything with dumbbells, and even all of this work with grips, it still wears out those grip muscles. This just saves my hands and does transfer some of the load to my wrist. So here's how this looks as I set up for a deadlift. It transfers a little bit of the load to my wrists. It saves my hands from getting torn up from doing heavy deadlifts, and it makes it so that my grip isn't the absolute limiting factor when doing high rep deadlifts. Instead, it's my actual caboose, my hamstrings, the muscles that are intended to be working that get the most work on that deadlift. The last thing I'll say about grips is that they work best with bars that have some roughness to them. Obviously a barbell has that knurling, it's rough, the grips can really dig in and attach to that. On a pull-up bar that has a really good powder coat, like this Rogue pull-up bar, it really allows these grips to attach. That's what has caused those other grips to just tear. I've done so much work on this rough pull-up bar that it's actually just worn through that grip as opposed to my hands. It's worked through that grip. It becomes tricky to wear grips if you're on a really slippery bar. So if you've been at the gym, and especially during like quarantine, the bars are getting wiped down clean between every class, and now you've got this really smooth bar. That doesn't work super well with grips. We need just a touch of grippiness on that bar for the grips to stick to. So one of the cheats or hacks that I have for making a bar more grippy, and I learned this when I was a gymnast in junior high, is get a cup of sugar water. Lots of sugar in that water. Just get that up on the bar, grab your chalk bucket and rub that chalk up on that bar. Use your bucket to catch all the extra chalk, get that chalk and then work it in with your hands. And what that's gonna create is almost like a powder coating on that slippery bar. You'll see the chalk will form these little dots on the bar, just like a good pull-up bar that's had a ton of work on it. It's full of chalk. It's all just kind of embedded in there. Sugar water plus chalk will help create that faster. So if I know I've got a really big workout and it's on a slippery bar, if I can get a chance to get up there and get some sugary water on my hands, get some chalk, get that up on that bar, as I work that bar, it will create a much grippier situation for my grips to hang on to and will help me as I navigate my way through that particular workout. So go out, get yourself a pair of grips. It's not gonna be a magic pill. Grips take a little while to sort of break in and conform to the shape of your hand. You can rough them up a little bit. If they're too slippery, which often grips are when you first get them, just find a piece of concrete on the ground and just scrape them up a little bit, get them nice and rough, chalk them up, get on a grippy bar, work them in, do deadlifts with these grips until they just fit your hand really well, and give it a go. Over time, you'll find that grips will help you stay on the bar longer when you're doing anything on the bar, stay on the rings longer, and lift longer or more reps with deadlifts. Let me know your thoughts and your feedback in the comments below. And if you enjoy content like this, be sure to like and subscribe so you're notified when I upload new videos. Thanks for watching. See you next time.